Other interesting business news, you have Lululemon increasing their outlook thanks to a 61% increase in sales in China, or as some might say, China, which, say what you want about Trump, he did kind of coin that phrase, and every time I read that, I hear his voice. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but it certainly is memorable. Now, they actually raised their full year guidance last week on Thursday after reporting an 18% jump in both sales and profit for its fiscal second quarter. Thankfully, mostly in part because of that 61% increase in China. Now, they expect their sales now to come in between $9.51 billion and $9.57 billion for the full fiscal year, which, dear God, that is an astronomical amount of those exercise pants for women. Though, many would find them tasteful if worn in the privacy of your own home gym. Now, those numbers also compared to a range of $9.44 billion to $9.51 billion. So if you're a shareholder, you're ecstatic because the company is saying, hey, we were aiming for this goal. Now we're up there. Now our goal is higher. And again, companies are usually pretty conservative on Wall Street because they know when it comes to increasing their goals, because they know, people are buying a stock based on that word, based on that statement. And if they miss that goal, people sell the stock in droves. It's perhaps the worst thing on Wall Street is to miss your sales expectations. Because, it's a good sign that the outlook is not so good, as a wise Magic 8 Ball would say, which I know is an inanimate object, actually has anime wisdom. Though it's ironically, interesting enough, that Magic 8 Ball is probably more correct more times than a politician. But, as a pun. Now, looks like Lululemon is up to 107 stores in China. Jeez Louise. And when asked for comment, the CEO, Calvin McDonald, said both e-commerce and in-store sales were performing, quote, incredibly well in China, unquote. Now, it'll be interesting to see one of the biggest issues in the United States, especially with retail, is theft. It'll be interesting to see, does the CEO actually grow a backbone or some integrity? I know those are rare things in modern society, unfortunately. I say this because a couple months ago with Lululemon, you had 2 employees. There was a robbery, and unfortunately, the employees were unarmed and unable to defend themselves properly. And they're in the store. The guys came in, stole everything. The employees followed the thieves out and recorded them on a phone in an attempt to get the license plate so they can report the proper authorities. Although, ironically, even if they did, they would just be let out the next day because of the United States is so soft on crime. Now, the CEO fired those 2 employees because they went against the corporate guidelines, which I suppose the corporate guidelines is just to acquiesce to all criminal activity and allow your store to lose. I believe that is estimated $7,000 of merchandise. So there's a lot. I did a poll on LinkedIn, and like 91% out of 300 people who voted agreed with the statement that the CEO made the wrong business decision to fire the people. Even if it was by their shitty guidebook, it's not a good message in my opinion, and many people on the LinkedIn, because you're quite literally encouraging theft. You're saying, oh yeah, we're not going to stop you at all. So of course you can get more theft. Granted, the profit margins on those things are so good they can afford to, I guess, be stolen from a couple times. I can't help but think those sheer, what do you call those, leggings, cost, I was going to say 18 cents, maybe 75 cents in Vietnam to create. And idiots, people in America buy them for like $80, which, Jesus Louise. So I can only assume they can afford to get a couple of thefts, but overall it's not a good look for the company because it's supposed to be a premium brand company. If anything, I would say go out, hire some retired veterans, have them guard the store, and let people know if you come to our store, you will be safe. Because again, the main demographic of Lululemon is women. So you want to project the image that, I know I hate this. I hate the cliche term of safe space, but you want to let them know it will be a safe experience if you go to that store. You're not going to have to worry about theft. You'll actually be protected. So it'll be interesting to see what the CEO does from here, but it looks like sales are booming. And again, one of the things when it comes to global sales, especially when business gets large enough, China can make or break many companies. It'll be interesting to see how much they grow and continue in that country. I always say, time to tell. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in again. Again, we're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers by the end of September. Actually, 4,000 if we really swing it. So I really appreciate you clicking that button. Also, taking the time to like and comment helps me out. Appreciate the feedback and insight you have with these topics. Love to hear about your experiences. Also, and lastly, don't forget to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.